What's going on, guys? Zog here, and today we're going to be looking at if Sparkle, coming out pretty shortly as of this video, will be meta with Acheron coming out in 2.1. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit of an overview of both units here, and we're going to figure out if Sparkle will be usable and viable with Acheron coming out pretty soon too. So first things first, guys, I'm going to be showing off kind of what Sparkle does, her skills, her talents, and all that type of stuff. If you guys don't already know, she is a Harmony unit, and she is a support unit, if you guys didn't already know that. But right up on screen here, I have her basic attack. Just does a little bit of damage, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary here. So now I have her skill up on screen here, and as you can see, it increases the crit damage of a single target ally by 12% of Sparkle's own crit damage plus 27%. So obviously you'd be wanting to build her with as much crit damage as you can on those relics, and on top of this crit damage buff that she gives to her allies, she actually advances forward this ally's action, whoever you use the buff on, by 50%. As you guys might know, Bronya actually does the same thing, but it actually is 100% action forward with her buff. So we're not going to know exactly how this will work in game. Maybe it won't advance them as far as Bronya's does, but this crit damage buff is definitely what's really important here. And this is what her max level skill looks like. So as you can see, it does 30% of Sparkle's crit damage plus 54%. And of course this lasts one turn, and then same thing with the advance forward by 50%. But what really sets Sparkle apart from any other type of support unit in the game is that upon using her ultimate, she actually grants you 3 skill points for your entire team. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys already knew that, but yeah, it's a very, very OP ability to have. Of course, you don't get it all the time because it's her ultimate, but once you get all that energy, you will be able to use that. And up on screen right here, I actually have her technique, and going into battle while using her technique will actually give you 3 skill points for the entire team, and you actually will not be detected as soon as you get into the game. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work, but maybe the enemies won't be able to see you for a while, but as soon as you get into the game, you will get actually 3 skill points. And of course, if you guys don't already know this too, she actually gives you 2 extra skill point slots, so no more 5 max skill points. You guys could actually have 7 now. So yeah, really big stuff with this unit, really exciting. So now we got some gameplay here of Sparkle. She's going to use her skill, her main ability, on Don Hang over here. Of course, it's going to give him a crit damage boost, which will be a part of Sparkle's own crit damage plus a certain percentage, whatever level you have that trace at. So that'll do a bunch of damage, and you could also see in the corner how there are more skill point slots to be used. So right here, I just got some footage of my own account here, and I'm just going to be showing off some of the relics I've been farming for Sparkle in advance here. So as we know, we want to get as much crit damage as we can on these pieces. So if you guys are going for Sparkle, I wish you guys good luck in those rolls for your relic pieces. But yeah, and the reason you want to be using this relic set here is because when you use that ultimate, which of course you're going to be using a lot with Sparkle because you want those extra skill points, you will actually get a speed buff for the rest of your team. So yeah. So now that we've covered Sparkle, we're going to talk about Acheron and if she will be viable with Sparkle on a team together. So yeah, we're going to cover kind of what her abilities do, what we know so far. She is coming out in 2.1. I also will show some gameplay of her abilities in action. So yeah, guys. So now I've got Acheron's basic attack and skill up on screen. So we're just going to go through each of them right here. So basic attack gains 1 point of Slash Dream, then inflicts 1 stack of Crimson Knot on a single target enemy and deals lightning damage equal to 50% of Acheron's attack to them. And now what her skill does is it gains 2 points of Slash Dream, inflicts 2 stacks of Crimson Knot on a single target enemy and deals lightning damage equal to 80% of Acheron's attack, as well as lightning damage equal to 30% of Acheron's attack to adjacent targets, so any target that is to the left or right of your main target. And obviously, the more you level up these skills, the more damage they will do. So now we'll talk about her ultimate, which is definitely the most intriguing thing about her kit. So her ultimate triggers Rainblade, dealing lightning damage equal to 14.4% of Acheron's attack to a single target enemy, and removing up to 3 stacks of Crimson Knot from the target enemy. When Crimson Knot is removed, immediately deal 1 instance of lightning damage equal to 9% of Acheron's attack to all enemies. So now I've got her talent up on screen, and this is where it gets very interesting. So she can actually not get her ultimate unless her Crimson Knot or slash stream is actually inflicted on the target, and other things count for this. So any type of debuff that is on the enemy will also count as slash stream, I believe. So when slash stream reaches 9 points, the ultimate can be unleashed. The ultimate ignores weakness types and depletes enemies' toughness, as well as reducing all enemies all type res by 10% until the end of the ultimate. And then also it says, when any character uses their ability to inflict debuffs on an enemy target, Acheron gains 1 point of slash stream and inflicts Crimson Knot on the enemy target. So yeah, the only way of you getting the ultimate is actually as putting as much debuffs as you can onto the enemy. So it's very important that you guys run debuff characters with her, so you can get that ultimate up faster, and so you could do as much damage as you can in your turns. Because her ultimate is the most damaging thing, and of course her skill and basic attack we saw before also inflicts the Crimson Knot and slash stream, so that will already act as a debuff on the target. But you definitely want to run her with other debuffing units, because of the stat right here that you guys see on the screen, the Abyss. The more nihility characters you actually have with her, the more she will do in her basic attack and skill, and actually ultimate as well. So quickly, I'll just go over her technique and stuff like that. So her technique right here immediately attacks the enemy. After entering the battle, Acheron gains 2 points of slash streams and deals lightning damage equal to 80% of Acheron's attack to all enemies, as well as inflicting 2 stacks of Crimson Knot on a single enemy. So this right here is just some more text about what her ultimate does. So each stack of Crimson Knot that you inflicted on that enemy will be removed as soon as you activate that ultimate, and will increase the damage multiplier by an additional 9% to the ultimate's damage, and it can be activated 3 times. So if you guys already haven't seen the ultimate, I will show it shortly, and it's like a 3-part ultimate type thing, which then immediately activates Stygian Resurge, dealing lightning damage equal to 39% of Acheron's attack to all enemies. And of course, all of your Crimson Knots that you had on your enemy from your Acheron will be removed at that point. So now that we know the basic information of Acheron's kit, we're going to figure out if Sparkle is going to be a viable unit with Acheron. So as we know now that Acheron's main thing is that we want to get her ultimate off as fast as possible, and the best way we could do that is by having other characters with her on the same team that also debuff the enemy targets and that either support her, so like a Sparkle, but yeah, any type of character that is also nihility and has a debuffer. So a character like Pela is actually very, very good, because not only is she a nihility character, so she can get that attack bonus that is a part of her kit, but she could actually debuff the target so she can get Acheron's ultimate up faster. So yeah, a character like Pela is very, very good. And on top of that, her defense reduction. So if you guys don't already know about Pela and what she does, she actually does a, I believe it's a 30% defense down on all the enemy targets with her ultimate. So having that on top of her being a nihility character, so Acheron can make more damage with all of her abilities, as well having that defense down with Pela, you're gonna do a lot of damage having Pela. And then if you combine this Pela with Sparkle, you could have a lot more damage than just using 2 nihility characters and taking full advantage of that nihility bonus damage that she gets from having 2 other nihility units with her, because obviously you'd be doing a lot more damage if you fully, max out and prepare it for your Sparkle pulls. And if you end up getting her and then having all that crit damage and then using your support or her skill on Acheron, instead of having 2 other nihility characters and just having Pela on the team, you could do a lot more damage instead of getting that full effect of the of her passive. So yeah, so a team composition such as Acheron, Sparkle, Pela, and maybe a sustain, so maybe like a Huohuo, Japard, Luocha, is going to be very, very good, because not only do you get more debuffs from Pela, and you also get her defense down on the enemy targets, making them a lot weaker, so Acheron could take advantage of that. You also get Sparkle's buff to the crit damage, so when you do crit with Acheron, you'll do a hell of a lot more damage. So a team like that is very, very good. And then of course at that last spot you do want to sustain, like I just mentioned, or else your team is just going to die. So you definitely want a Japard or Huohuo or Fushuan in that last slot. But in my opinion, I think it's absolutely necessary that you guys either run a Pela or Silver Wolf so that you at least get some more debuffs so you can get Acheron's ultimate faster and therefore do the most damage. But you really don't have to make use of the two Nihility characters, especially if you do end up pulling for Acheron a lot and ending up getting her E2. Her E2, I believe, grants her so that you only need one Nihility character on your team to make full use of the damage that she can get from having two. So now we'll just watch some gameplay of Pela, Acheron, and Silver Wolf and Aventurine on a team. So right there, Pela just did her ultimate. She got the defense down. Silver Wolf is another great unit to have on a team with Acheron. She's about to do another debuff here with her ultimate. And so then Acheron is able to use her ultimate. And right now they're just looking at some of her stats to kind of show you what's going on behind the scenes here in terms of the damage she's going to be doing and all that. But yeah, so now she'll do her 3-part ultimate. Of course, she got all those debuffs very fast and she's doing a lot of damage there. So overall, will Sparkle be a meta unit paired along with Acheron? I think yes. I think that if you're not running two Nihility units and maybe you only have one that you really like and that you already have leveled up a bunch, I think you should run them along with Sparkle on your team. So just use that Nihility unit. I think everyone in the game is able to get Pela, so definitely run Pela, build Pela up if you haven't already, if you're summoning for Sparkle, because then you should be able to use Pela along with Sparkle and then save up all your gems for when Acheron comes out so that you have a very, very strong team that does a lot of damage to almost all content, because the Pela 30% defense down along with the type, I think it's 10% ignore any type of weakness or the resistance on any type of enemy with Acheron. So yeah, you're gonna be doing a lot of damage with that type of team composition. But yeah, I think all in all, Sparkle is gonna be really, really meta for many team comps in the game, and I think she's gonna be very, very strong with Acheron. I think Acheron's honestly gonna do the most damage in this game. I think she's gonna be busted. Of course she's gonna be a busted unit. She's busty. But enough of me yapping. I really do believe that Sparkle is going to be really, really great paired up with Acheron. I think people are sleeping on the fact that Sparkle is going to be really great with Acheron because they see the Nihility, they see the debuffs, and obviously Sparkle doesn't give a debuff, she buffs your teammates. So I think people are really sleeping over the fact that Sparkle could be very, very good, especially if you get E2 Acheron and you only have to use one Nihility unit. So you'd want to use Pela in that situation or whatever you already have as a Nihility debuffer. And you'd want to have Sparkle then on your team too to really make Acheron do a lot more damage. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, as it is my first video on my channel. But yeah, I'm thinking about posting a lot more Honkai Star Rail content, so if you guys want to see more stuff like this, definitely like and subscribe. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and Zoc out.